Hey everybody, Joe Dobby here, back at it again with another deck profile for you today. This time I am not doing it alone. This is actually not my Ulforce deck, but this is All Good's UlforceVeedramon deck. He is the guest that I have here today. He has also just begun Twitch streaming, so go ahead and give him a follow, and hopefully you'll be able to see him run his Ulforce deck at webcam tournaments around. But this is a very unique one, and I think it's a very cool one. And I know that some of you guys have actually seen this played out on my streams and have asked about it, so I wanted to share. But yeah, once again, All Good, feel free to take us away.
Hey guys, what's up? I'm All Good. I'm basically a Ulforce one-trick player. It's my specialty. I've been playing it since even before 1.5 was released. I've been playing it since BD2 from Japan. I developed this list with some help from Josh as well, and it's pretty different from most Ulforce lists since I haven't seen any other lists using green. Most lists use Davis as a memory tamer or just Matt, so you can tap in, has the synergy with Ulforce. But I try to compensate with my list not being able to tap my memory tamer, and Ken also works really well with Ulforce, giving me access to Flower Cannon, so I have some more board control, I have more removal, I don't need to directly face that many blockers as usually Ulforce has to. That's basically the jam, I guess.
Nice, the jam, pun intended. So All Good. One of the things that I want you to do is just give us a brief overview of your card choices. So why did you choose
Oh yeah.
the ratios, and why did you choose Elecmon, Gomamon, and all this? So feel free to take us away here.
Yeah. Let's begin from the Digitama. Most people use 4 the BD3 Demi Vmons. I can see why, because there's a lot of jamming in the deck, but I prefer using the 3-2 ratio, because the BD2 Demi Vmon actually really helps since I depend more on board control with green. For example, if I face a Servicemon matchup, I can swing over a Servicemon with just one Tamer and one Demi Vmon with buff in my Ulforce.
Yep.
So I got way more removal potential, even if I don't have jamming.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I use that ratio. I already have the draw power with my Tamers, with my evolutions. So yeah, that's why I chose those Digitam.
Mm-hmm.
About the rookies, Elecmon is the vanilla one. 2 cost. You can use it to memory choke or just go wide. Easy access to Digivolutions as well. I'll talk about the Vmons. It's pretty standard for the Jammy Vmon. Well, it's just OP in every single deck it goes, so it combos really well with the Demi Vmon egg, so you can get early draws with jamming. The other Vmon, the BD2 Vmon, also gives draw power, but once you Digivolve, Gomamon is just there to fill a spot. I feel like he's pretty good when using with blockers or just your Ulforce. Sometimes you just know your Ulforce is going to die, so you try to get maybe one extra memory in there. Let's talk about the champions now, the level 4s. Pretty standard, I think, because I use 2 Gorilla Mounts, 1 cost so I can turbo faster. I can memory choke better too. I use 2 jamming Veedramons. This choice here, I used to use 4 of them, but with so many control and stall decks present in the meta, like red, yellow control, I changed it up and I actually use 2 Veedramon zeros now, so I can recycle my Ulforces, Hammer Sparks, etc. X Vmon, it's just like jamming Vmon. If you play blue, it's just an amazing card to use. give more aggression with either jamming Vmon or just the Veedramon with jamming as well, or simply save them from being targeted by attack next turn.
Gotcha.
I use only two blockers because I don't think they're really that necessary.
Yeah, that makes sense.
At least in this, at least in my list, since I already have some board control, I had to worry less about my security. And since this list is, I made this for my playstyle, I tend to trust a lot in my security. So
Nice. Yeah.
I'm never afraid of letting my enemy swing like once or twice in the early game, if that means I can accelerate my game with a tamer. Um, Level 5s, it's pretty simple. Arrow Veedramon for the combo, for the classic jamming, for the searchability with Rena. I chose two Zudamons. Some people like to use Monzemon for digivolving faster, but I think that Zudamon has way more value, even with his on-play effect and his inevitable effect.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when you swing so much with Ulforce, your opponent doesn't even have a choice besides playing hard playing a blocker. So or hard playing Digimon going wide, so you would just gain lots of memory, and since you have Can and Flower Cannon, you can even control the board with this and gain even more memory each turn.
Gotcha.
Even though you don't have the jamming, you can still combo it with the Demi Vmon who buffs Ulforce.
Yeah, exactly.
Then my level 6s, of course, our boy Ulforce.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
since I'm already using green, I figured why not use a Puppetmon. It's just a really good clutch card. It enables my flower cannons and it can save a game. Some debatable choices. I use three hammer sparks. Most people don't don't really like using that number of hammer sparks. They prefer using four, a whole set.
All four, yeah.
But I needed some space for the other cards, so
Of course.
but they usually come in clutch, and you just gotta know when to play them.
Yeah.
Kakaido's Breath, I use it more as an emergency card. It's always good to have on security, and just in case your opponent plays in level 7 or a really strong level 6, or is about to play a really strong level 6, like say Shine with a Digivolving effect. Yeah, it's just your basic removal. It can save you some turns. Here to the Spice, Flower Cannon. It's basically the same thing as I mentioned before. It's pretty similar
Cilantro
to
of the
Kakaidos.
deck.
Yeah, it's the control part of the deck. You can always get in on security, can save lots of games. Suspending multiple Digimon. You can always use it to, for example, suspend a strong Digimon who will just swing next turn and get game, or swing over a Gazimon, Terriermon, those types of memory blockers.
Yep.
And it combos really well since you can play it. You then can attack with Orphos, unsuspend him, get a memory, tap can, gain a memory. You basically played for free. Then there's Rena. My ratios for Tamer are 3-2-2. It's very basic. Most people I think some people actually like to use 3 ties and 2 Renas. But since I don't focus that much on draw power, I prefer using Rena for searchability. And then the classic type to combo with your Veedramons, buffing or drawing cards, unsuspending him, and our green boy Ken for memory and board control.
Perfect. Yeah, I mean, a lot of good choices here. A lot of interesting kind of like, so to speak, rogue ratios that people might not necessarily have a good liking to. For example, in your champions, it's very unorthodox, right? You're running a lot of 2 of Digimon, like 2 Gorillamon, 2 Veedramon, 2 Grizzlymon, 2 Veedramon 0 versus like, like a 4-4-3. So there's, as far as consistently seeing specific level 4s, it's not always clear cut, but I have played you a lot of times with your deck, and you seem to get the pieces when you need them. It's almost like at the level 4 section, like you're honestly fine with getting any of these level 4s generally, right? Like it doesn't really matter what you get in this scenario because ultimately you want to go into Ulforce.
Yeah, and it's just because having less of a card makes it less consistent, right, for you to draw it.
Yeah,
But having so many level 4s make it more versatile as well.
exactly. Yeah. So you're able to answer specific things like depending on the matchup, that Veedramon with jamming if you have a blue tamer could allow for early aggression as you get into Ulforce, right? So
Yep.
yeah, I think that's a very good idea. Having the 2 blockers never hurts. Have you ever considered, it looks like you have 14 rookies. So would you go down one rookie to add a Puppetmon?
I already tried it, but
How's that?
I didn't. I didn't really like it. I
Mm,
feel like Puppetmon isn't the most necessary card in my deck.
got you. Got you.
It's one of those cards like, oh, you draw into it. Oh, it's nice. It's here. I
Mhm.
can use it, but it's not obligatory.
No, that makes sense. It's like sometimes I was just worried that sometimes like you might send it down to the bottom of your deck because of Rena, you know? But then again, when you're facing a best of 3, your opponent probably doesn't know how many puppets you have. But if they know that
Bro,
one of your puppets went to the bottom, they could be more careful.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That actually has happened before.
Nice, nice. So it's like it's sometimes like a mind game like, "Oh, this old
Mhm.
force has a puppetmon, you know? I wonder how many
Yeah,
he's playing."
and since this list is so different, people usually don't even expect the flower cannon or the can.
Mhm. See?
So
Boom.
it's always really nice in best of
Yeah.
threes. Like I don't even get to use my green cards in the first game, then goes to the second one.
Mhm.
Oops.
Yeah, and they get very surprised, exactly. So, you mentioned that, excuse me, you mentioned that some people do 3 V Tamers versus the 3 Renas, right? So they do like
Yeah.
the opposite of what you're doing. Now,
Hmm.
my question here is, do you find that, I know Rena offers extra draw if you get into like a Vidra Digimon. Do you find that, have you tried the 3 V Tamer ties versus the Renas? What's your experience there?
Yes, I did. I actually thought it was slower than playing
Slowed down.
three
Okay,
arenas. Yeah,
got it.
cause you gotta have a Vidramon in play to use him, to use his
Okay,
effect to
got it.
draw
That makes
cards,
sense.
and it doesn't work in the raising area.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes you just want to protect your Vidramons while bidding all force depending on the matchup,
Yeah.
or you say you have an XVmon or a Gorillamon or a Grizzlymon in the field or a Zudamon.
Mm-hmm.
So so I prefer Rena for the searchability.
Yeah. Those are all good points to make,
Not
guys.
not
Yeah.
to mention that Rena gives all force his combo with Arrow Vidramon right at the first swing,
Exactly. Yeah.
because he restands while attacking.
Exactly.
Tai would only give jamming at the second swing, so it would always be riskier.
Yeah. Yeah. That's very good points. Very good points, actually. Cool. Cool. It looks that's really all the questions I had for you. Is there anything else you want to add and kind of let viewers know about the deck before I let you go and you do your closing remarks?
Um, I think I could talk about maybe some matchups,
Sure. Yeah. Go for it.
some meta matchups. I think probably the worst matchups against this list. I think that the best matchups to use against this list are Rookie Rush, Imperial, and Ragnarlordmon.
Imperial.
Especially, especially Black Ragnarlordmon.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Mm-hmm.
Black blockers could be in that list as well. Since Ulforce depends so much on jamming, and he's in 11k, he he suffers a lot from level 6 blockers. So,
Mm-hmm.
say Craniumon
Yeah.
with some ties in play,
Yeah.
there's no easy way for Ulforce to swing over them, except that say I use a flower cannon.
Mm-hmm.
so it's really hard. The same with Ragnarlordmon. All
Mm-hmm.
those Digimon that get blocker and rebuild are always a problem for Ulforce, since they can
Understood.
swing and they're really strong to to block. So I would probably need like two arenas and a Demi Vimon, a buffing Demi Vimon underneath Ulforce just to get over one blocker sometimes.
Perfect. So that's like, so you mentioned that some of your worst matchups are with regards to like black blockers.
Yeah.
Got it, got it. Can you
About
beat,
Imperial.
did you mention, okay, yeah, Imperial and then Rookie Rush.
Imperial is just the better Ulforce. I always
It's
like
just
to say that
faster.
it's faster,
Yeah,
it's more consistent, it's
yeah,
stronger as well. So it's basically a race when you play against Imperial.
yeah. It's
You
a little
you
bit more,
gotta
yeah.
oh, go on.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's a little bit more difficult for Ulforce when you only have the one Digimon with jamming half the time versus Imperial, where at every level of the game you have a jammer, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you usually when you play against Imperial, you just gotta go try and go fast, playing your jamming Vmons, jamming Vidramons,
Mm-hmm.
restanding with X Vmon. You gotta play like you play Rookie Rush or Imperial.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You gotta trust your lower level Digimons.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Perfect.
If you get enough time, you can try playing some tamers, or if you get lucky when Imperial is hitting on your security and you get tamers, you could try to build an all force. But it's not always the best choice
Makes sense.
since it's so fast.
That makes sense.
The same works for Rookie Rush.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a faster deck, and since your main your main source of damage is your level 6, there's usually no way you can get faster than it without some kind of control or stall. So you gotta search for your blockers as any Rookie Rush matchup. You gotta try to choke them with memory and stuff. So yeah, that's basically it, I think.
Yeah, I mean everything makes a lot of good sense here. So I don't really have any more questions. Is there anything you want to let the viewers know about your deck that's fun? Any interesting things, or do we just let it go here?
Uh, well, I think my favorite combo from this deck is probably with Zudomon.
Go
But
ahead.
but
Say that one favorite combo, and then we'll
oh
let it
man,
go here.
But it's just the O4 Zudomon combo, like getting 5 memory just swinging,
Yeah,
or
that's
maybe
awesome.
or sometimes just removing a whole board with cannon flower cannon. I actually done that in one of your King of the Hill events.
Oh
Played
wow.
against the Ceresmon deck, and I just swung over 2 Ceresmon and I think 2 Argamon in the same turn,
Oh my
and
gosh.
board wiped.
Oh my gosh, that sounds brutal if you're the Sarismon deck.
Yeah, it's not that consistent to happen, but when it happens, oh, it's a magical.
That's
It's a
awesome.
magical.
That is very magical. Well, all right, man. All good. Thank you so much for well coming on the old channel here with your boy Joe Dobby to go over your deck profile. I know a lot of you guys had requested for it because you have seen All Good play against me on stream via webcam or TTS. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and hope you guys learned a lot about the different ways you can get creative with not only a lot of other decks, but even with very specific archetype decks like Ulforce, Veedramon. That said, I am out of here. Thank you so much for watching. All good?
Ah, thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm really glad I finally got to play that kind of tourney as well and top it. So it was a pretty fun experience, and I really want to make the O-Force archetype more present in the meta. So really appreciate this opportunity, man.
No problem at
You
all.
can you guys can probably catch me on twitch.tv/allgood31. If my internet allows it, I'll probably stream like 3 times a week, probably on Mondays and Wednesdays and Friday nights. So yeah, you can catch me there.
There you have it. And yeah, go ahead and give All Good the follow, guys. Link will be in the description below. Once again, he's topped quite a few events with this Ulforce list, so I highly encourage you guys to try it out. But with that said, we're gonna have to call it here and let it go. So you guys have a wonderful evening, have a wonderful day or week or what have you, and take care. Once again, peace.